No one forced me to do this, a fact I found necessary to remind myself of frequently over the course of the ensuing 3 months. Being supposedly of sound mind, I willingly made the choice to walk 900 miles from Southern California to the Central Oregon coast. Why, one might reasonably wonder, would a 67-year-old semi-retired writer-musician with a history of chronic knee and foot problems, minimal camping experience, and nary a clue about long-distance hiking decide to challenge himself in this way? In this bitterly divisive and contentious period in our nation's history, amid an uncivil war of spiteful words and actions, I needed to know there were still nice people out there in the world. I was searching for a kinder America.
A beautiful adventure as well as a gentle sermon. Bishop uses his skills well here, taking us all the way, step by painful step.
I loved every word, every page, every chapter. Makes the reader feel like she's on the trail alongside the author. I didn't want it to end. I wanted to savor every page as long as possible.
Beautiful, detailed descriptions of the natural beauty that continues to draw people from all over the world to California.
One of the most beautiful places on earth, Mendocino Bay.
I felt each step on a journey most of us can only imagine. I saw the mountainsides, waterways, sunsets, and street-side berry stands. I felt childhood wonderment and true human connection. Trek is a scrapbook displaying both the beauty and frustration of the human condition.
She wears a purple satin scarf around her head, flowered capri pants, and is toting a blue souvenir backpack embroidered with palm trees waving between letters that spell out Aruba. "I'm in temporary housing," Anna Marie suddenly blurts. We're standing on the sidewalk amongst a cheering crowd of July Jubilee celebrants as antique fire trucks, trained dogs, and beaming teenage baton twirlers parade past. So basically, she explains, I'm homeless. I have to admire this lady's pluck. "Oh, I almost forgot," she says. "I wanted to show you something. My bracelet." She rolls up her sleeve to reveal a chartreuse rubber wristband.
I was traveling right next to him, meeting people from all walks of life and hearing their stories. Inspiring, compelling, funny, and sometimes heartbreaking. Trek touched my heart. I know that it will stay with me forever.
Michael is writing in honor of his brother, taken tragically by suicide. To that purpose, he is retracing the same cycling route he took with his late sibling some years back, from his British Columbia home to San Francisco. Yukon Barb says she set out from the Mexican border in March and thus far has covered 1,000 miles on foot. Somewhere along the way, she teamed up with her companion, Trail Mix, a muscular, dishwater blonde, half Barb's age. There are Christians, and there are people who call themselves Christians. The Brian Barnes I know is definitely the former, as is Carol, the woman who showed him who Jesus is. Grace exudes an energy one might describe as chipmunkish. She's the kind of person who nods and blinks as you speak, as if she intends to agree with you even before you've completed your entire statement. The androgynous one comes running across the road, waving slender, awkward arms toward the sky, like a tube man at a used car lot. "Are you really a peace pilgrim?" she inquires. Ardith is eager to show me, someone she hasn't seen since the early 1970s, how well she survived, how today, after a long, difficult recovery from a deeply scarred adolescence, she thrives as a strong, contented woman with a beautiful home, a highly responsible career, a husband she adores, kids launched out into the world, and grandkids to dote upon. I bump my cart past a dilapidated Trump-Pence Make America Great yard sign, down a rough, rutted gravel driveway, to behold a deck cluttered with haphazardly stacked cardboard boxes, rusted bicycles, exercise equipment, and disconnected appliances. Bob is far, far to the right on the political spectrum and expresses his views with absolute certitude. However, he also listens to my opinions and answers my questions with respect. He restrains from taking intransigent, argumentative stances and never comes off as judgmental. An hour earlier, meeting Bob filled me with apprehension. Now, in spite of our very different viewpoints, I'm actually beginning to like the guy. I'm pretty sure this is the first time I've seen the stout, stern woman smile. She promptly bustles back over to inform her party that they are about to be treated to a mini-concert by the Peace Pilgrim. The children sit in a row like birds on a log, a quiet, focused, attentive audience.
It's a wild, wild party in the loquat tree.
The jogging stroller is undergoing major surgery. The welding tag team is attacking this challenge with absolute earnestness. This morning, a pilgrim's cart might as well be the lunar lander, with the amount of attention it's getting from these two soldering scientists. Yesterday's cabbie was from Afghanistan. This morning's driver was Samoan. The two men who mended my broken cart were Korean and Fijian. My return Uber ride to the motel is piloted by an affable fellow named Kumal from India. I haven't run into a single one of the bad hombres the president wants us to be afraid of. All the immigrants I've encountered so far, regardless of their skin color, ethnic origin, or religious faith, have been unthreatening, hard-working, law-abiding folks. Some of them sacrificed everything to come to this country. Like generation upon generation of courageous dreamers before them, these are the kind of people who built this great nation. They, however, can't make America great again, because these are the people who make America great already.
A story of hope and acceptance, what we all need in these trying times.
On this night, high over the reservoir called Lake Sonoma at Campsite 83, for minutes at a time, seemingly endless minutes, the white, white quiet is deafening.
Riveting to the point where it was difficult to put it down and take a break.
The flashlight beam reveals a furry creature with a long tail, its head burrowed deeply into one of my supply bags. "Get out of here!" I demand. My deep, gruff, boisterous command almost frightens me. With the coast wind swirling in gusts approaching 50 miles per hour, 5,305 feet of slender elevated sidewalk is as filled with potential peril as a tightrope walk across the Grand Canyon. I take one tentative step at a time, struggling against the buffeting wind to keep the stroller wheels rolling straight ahead. It takes every bit of my strength and concentration to prevent the top-heavy load from catching a gust, blowing off the high curb, and tumbling onto the roadway. "Who's got all the money?" Jesse demands, as if I have the answer. "Everybody's got more money than us." It's clear he's made the assumption that, like him, I must be homeless. Jesse laughs. "I just want my next beer." He pauses, draws in a breath, exhales, and shakes his head at what he believes is the sad, unfair truth. Everybody's out to beat the other guy. By far, the greatest fulfillment from trekking those 900 miles came with the extraordinary opportunity to connect with 1,000 decent Americans. In fleeting moments, over the course of hours, or across the expanse of days, those encounters rekindled my faith. Not in the power and glory of some invisible God, but in the innate goodness of humankind. The nice, kind, sometimes exceedingly generous people I met along my pilgrimage path replenished the hope I'd lost and so desperately needed to find and feel again. And without that hope, I don't know if I would still be capable of rising and shining every morning. Thank you.
You'll be happy you came along.